I just wanted to kind of see like if you were in good spirits.
This is like a box.
Breaking news, folks, and I don't mean your grandma's teacup. I mean the internet itself just cracked in half. Because guess what? Lil Durk's jailhouse life just went viral again, and this time, the footage looks like it was ripped straight out of a prison documentary directed by Quentin Tarantino. Yeah, you heard me right. The self-proclaimed voice of the streets is now the main character in a real-life soap opera behind bars, and fans are losing their minds. But here's the million-dollar question. Is this footage exposing the harsh reality of Durk's new home sweet home, or is it just another clout-chasing stunt gone way too far? We're talking cold concrete, dim lights, and enemies circling like vultures at a backyard barbecue. Add in a sprinkle of corrupt guards and a dash of leaked phone calls, and boom, you've got the recipe for the most chaotic jail saga hip-hop has ever seen. But wait, don't scroll, because this isn't just about one rapper's fall from grace. Oh no. This footage might be the smoking gun that proves the Fed's darkest suspicions about OTF. Strap in, because things are about to get uglier than a mugshot without bail money. So let's start from the top. Because if you think this is just another rapper in jail sob story, you couldn't be more wrong. This isn't some oops, I got caught with a little weed situation. No, what we're looking at is a full-blown scandal with enough twists to make Netflix cancel. All its crime dramas out of pure embarrassment, the star of the show? Lil Durk, the man who once called himself the voice of the streets, but now might just be the voice of the federal detention center. And his so-called home inside MDC Los Angeles? Let's just say it makes Rikers Island look like a 5-star Airbnb. The footage that leaked online paints a picture darker than a Chicago alley at midnight. Durk, his homies, and a whole lot of questionable activity that no PR team on the planet could ever spin into something positive. Now, here's the catch. Durk being in jail isn't exactly breaking news. The man's had more legal battles than he's had Billboard hits. But what makes this moment different is the sheer audacity of what's being exposed. Anonymous sources, and by sources, I mean some dude on Twitter with a cracked iPhone screen, claim that Durk isn't just surviving in there, he's running things. Allegedly, his cell has turned into the OTF command center, complete with smuggled phones, encrypted calls, and late-night strategy meetings that sound less like jail talk and more like a Fortune 500 boardroom. And of course, because this is Durk we're talking about, there's drama from every angle. Remember, this is the same guy accused of financing a murder-for-hire plot that spanned multiple states. So, when footage drops of him sitting in jail, surrounded by his crew like it's family dinner night, people start asking, is he locked up, or is this just another chapter in his never-ending reality show? Public reaction? Predictably insane. Half the internet is screaming, "Free Durk?" The other half is yelling, "Keep him there forever." And the rest are busy making memes of him looking like a lost contestant on Survivor. And let's be real, the memes are savage. We're talking Lil Durk behind bars starter pack memes, complete with a phone card, a ramen noodle stash, and a 1,000-yard stare. But memes aside, the footage raises bigger questions. How much power does Durk actually hold inside those walls? Is this just a rapper doing time, or are we watching the rise of a full-blown jail empire? Reports suggest guards have been caught sneaking contraband into the facility, everything from cell phones to cigarettes, and allegedly, Durk's crew has their hands in it all. Think about it. When the feds describe a jail as barbaric, and then you've got one of hip-hop's most notorious figures chilling inside, what else could you expect? And this, ladies and gentlemen, is where the scandal really begins. Because if the footage is to be believed, Durk isn't the victim here, he's the boss. And bosses? They don't just sit back quietly. They move pieces on the board, which brings us to the next piece of this puzzle. The so-called receipts of how Durk allegedly turned his jail cell into a war room. Receipts, that's the magic word the internet loves to hear. And oh boy, this story has them, or at least it has something that looks like receipts if you squint hard enough and don't ask too many questions. According to a leaked investigative file, which suspiciously looks like it was typed on Microsoft Word 2007, Durk has been moving chess pieces like he's some kind of prison godfather. The file claims that smuggled phones were being routed through cleaning staff, passed along in trash bags, and then delivered straight to Durk's block. And what's he doing with those phones? Allegedly, coordinating with OTF members still on the outside, discussing everything from music royalties to taking care of unfinished business. One anonymous guard even whispered that Durk's conversation sounded less like calls home and more like board meetings for a Fortune 500 crime syndicate. His exact words: "Man, I don't know if I'm listening to a rapper or a CEO, but let's not stop there." The footage itself shows glimpses of Durk's so-called cell gatherings instead of the usual prison small talk about commissary and visiting hours. Insiders say Durk's crew has turned their block into a nightly strategy hub. Late-night whispers about who's loyal, who's snitching, and who needs to be handled. And here's the kicker: rumor has it one of those meetings was about a federal informant planted inside OTF. Yeah, you heard that right. Somebody in his circle allegedly flipped. Now, if you think the internet didn't eat that rumor alive, think again. Reddit threads exploded with theories. Some fans swore the informant had already been exposed. Others said the footage itself was bait planted by the feds to trap Durk into revealing more. Meanwhile, TikTok detectives armed with nothing but ring lights and too much free time began dissecting every second of the video, zooming in on blurry faces like they were FBI analysts. And trust me, the theories range from Durk's plotting his escape to Durk's negotiating a deal with the Illuminati and the public. Divided as ever. On one hand, you've got fans romanticizing the whole thing, saying Durk is holding it down like a true street legend. On the other, critics are pointing out how ridiculous it looks for a man under federal investigation to be caught on camera apparently enjoying what looks like an executive suite of chaos. But here's where it gets darker. The so-called leaked file also claims that certain guards were handsomely compensated to turn a blind eye. Cash payments, luxury gifts sent to family members, even rumors of crypto transfers tied to offshore wallets. It's the kind of corruption scandal that, if true, doesn't just put Durk in the hot seat, it blows the entire prison system wide open. And that's why this story refuses to die. Because it's not just about Lil Durk anymore. It's about a prison where the line between inmate and kingpin has blurred so much. Nobody knows who's really running the show, which leads us straight into the next chapter, the fallout. Because scandals like this don't stay quiet for long, and when the feds catch wind, the hammer always comes down hard. And here's where the fallout begins. Because let's be honest, you can only run a jailhouse empire for so long before the walls start closing in. And according to insiders, that's exactly what's happening to Lil Durk. Federal investigators, who apparently binge-watch social media just as much as the rest of us, allegedly caught wind of the viral footage. And when the feds see something that looks even remotely like a power structure behind bars, you already know what comes next. Task forces, subpoenas, and a whole lot of paperwork nobody wants to fill out. Sources claim the Bureau of Prisons has quietly launched what they're calling Operation Silent Cell, the mission to dismantle any influence Durk supposedly has inside MDC Los Angeles. This means cell shakedowns at random hours, surprise interrogations, and even transferring certain inmates connected to OTF to other facilities. One anonymous official apparently said, if he thinks he's running a label in there, we're about to cancel the tour, but it doesn't stop at the prison level. Word on the street, or at least in the murky depths of online forums, is that prosecutors are considering tacking on new charges tied to alleged witness tampering and conspiracy. Imagine that, you're already staring down years for racketeering, and now you might be adding bonus charges like it's some kind of sick legal video game. Public reaction has only intensified. Fans are torn between calling Durk a genius strategist or a reckless fool. Some are even speculating that this is the end of OTF as we know it. If the boss goes down, the empire crumbles, one Twitter user declared, racking up tens of thousands of likes. Meanwhile, critics argue that this is exactly what happens when celebrity culture collides with criminal reality. A never-ending soap opera where nobody truly wins, and let's not forget the economic angle. Durk's ongoing legal chaos has reportedly caused major delays in music releases, tour planning, and label deals. Industry insiders whisper that sponsors are pulling back, investors are nervous, and one streaming exec allegedly joked, "At this point, we need a free Durk playlist just to keep the numbers up." But here's the real kicker. Fans aren't just talking about Durk's music anymore, they're questioning whether he'll ever walk free again. Every new rumor, every leaked clip, every insider report seems to push the narrative that his legal future is spiraling out of control. And the scariest this video? The louder the internet gets, the more pressure the justice system feels to make an example out of him. So, is this the beginning of the end for Lil Durk? Or just another dramatic chapter in a saga that refuses to die? One thing's for certain, this isn't just a scandal anymore. It's a full-blown cultural event, with the rapper at the center of a storm that's bigger than any mixtape, any chart hit, or any street legend status he's ever claimed. And trust me, the storm hasn't even peaked yet. So here's the question. Is Lil Durk the mastermind of a jailhouse empire, or just another fallen star crushed under his own choices? Is this viral footage proof of his power, or the evidence that seals his fate forever? You decide. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Are you team Free Durk or team Keep Him Locked? And don't just watch from the sidelines. Hit that like button, smash subscribe, and turn on notifications because this story isn't over. If anything, the real chaos is only just beginning.